Hey, this is a take two because I had a text come in with people's full names on them and I couldn't allow that to take place. I just want to show you the channel name and what they're trying to do, what they're talking about. And I think women need to really pay attention because your vote is very powerful, and these men in this dysfunctional patriarchy, especially for the Republican Party, that want to take and strip women's rights away, strip women's right to choose away, right to her own body away. Now they're talking about they want to strip away the 19th Amendment, take the night. So let me just say this. These Republicans are fake as fuck because it's okay to be, they want to be the Constitution, or they want to uphold the Constitution as long as it only benefits white males in America. But if those rights or the Constitution upholds rights for any racial demographic other than them and gender other than them, they want to strip it away. Let's listen.
I think this cycle has happened a lot in history, and what I don't want to happen is for it to become where people resent, let's pick women, for instance, or some sort of class of human, a female, white, black,
clearly
whatever.
They're white.
That people, because the companies start to suffer because they're forced to have a certain amount of women and a certain amount of men, and maybe it doesn't matter their qualifications, that people will start to resent those people as underqualified people that got the position on identity. And then if the system really falls apart, there's going to be massive amounts of resentment. And then you'll start over with this really extreme system where people are like, women. People have actually joked about repealing the 19th Amendment because they're so frustrated with this stuff.
Wait. What do you mean joked?
Yeah, exactly. It's not. Some people haven't even joked. They just say maybe we should strip women's right to vote because they're so pissed off that women are being forced into positions they're not qualified for identity purposes.
What is a woman, Ian?
Good question, Tim. Good question.
So I tweeted that now that we know that biological sex isn't real, we should repeal the 19th Amendment because it's become redundant. Right?
I'm telling you.
Well, why would you need it if biological sex isn't real? The 19th Amendment specifically says the right to vote shall not be abridged or whatever the word is. So you can't. It says sex, specifically says sex, that the right to vote will not be stopped because of your sex. But if the left's position is that biological sex doesn't exist anymore, well, then we don't need the 19th Amendment. Everybody agrees. No, seriously. That's the first question I have. You go to conservatives like Milo or whatever. He says outright, repeal the 19th. Lydia, she says repeal the 19th. And it's like, okay, well, I personally don't agree with that, but I'm also not somebody who thinks biological sex doesn't exist. I think it does. So then, fine. Here's my pitch to Milo and to Lydia. Go to leftists and say, is biological sex a real thing? When they say no, be like, okay, would you like to sign this petition to repeal the 19th Amendment, which specifically grants voting rights based on sex? That's transphobic, isn't it? Okay, great. Then when they sign it, there you go. Get your petitions, get your two-thirds of states, Article 5 convention or whatever, and then you can repeal the 19th.
But the reality is men and women are different. Women have ovaries, genetically, sexually are different creations. Maybe gender is a conversation is worth having, that people have different, gender identities, whatever. But biological sex is very real. It's very real. We were all born of a woman. As far as I know, all of us here probably were. You guys? I was. Had a mom and a dad, sperm and an egg, female and a male. They work together.
You sound like a bigot. How dare you express these opinions? I mean, I have to disavow immediately. Scott, do you disavow Ian?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Not.
So I think that women need to really pay attention, especially the ones that think it's a good thing that a women's right to choose has been taken away. Now you're hearing they're chipping away little by little, brick by brick, women's rights. They're trying to take any kind of progress that women have made in the society away from women. I don't know how much clearer these points of view that I've been fighting on social media for over 12, 13 years concerning women's rights, and why the feminist movement it's more needed than ever now. It's more needed than ever. So you hear from these men, these white nationalist, white supremacist, white conservative, white Republicans points of view concerning women. Now you can hear it from the horses' mouths. Like now it's very upfront. It's in your face. It's no longer hidden in closets or hidden behind a curtain. They're out in your face. They're telling you exactly what they want to do. So unfortunately, I believe that the Democratic Party is not putting women in the forefront. It's not putting women's issues in the forefront. They don't take into account or really even care too much, which is very sad, because it's mainly the women, that vote for them, that put them in office. The majority of women that vote for them put them in office. However, they don't put women's issues in the forefront. I don't know what women need to do to really pay attention, or when is it going to sink in that your rights they are literally wanting to take your rights away. This is why they hate the feminist movement so much. This is why they have an attack. Listen, this is like I talked to somebody the other day concerning this fight, and she's like, "Oh, it seems like a fight for a long time." Yeah, it's biblical. Genesis chapter 3. Enmity between the woman and her seed, and the serpent and its seed. Yeah, it's a long time coming. Yeah, this fight has been happening. Women better pay attention.